Y'all remember the Bee Gees? Staying alive, staying alive. Y'all remember Bee Gees? Well, apparently the Bee Gees are really, really making a resurgence, except they're doing it the woke way. What do I mean by that? If y'all ain't seen Terrence Howard lately, yeah, well, look, okay. I remember the Bee Gees very well. Very, very, very well. And if I were to cast a new Bee Gees, I would probably start with Terrence Howard as the lead guy, Barry. I would. Why? Um, you know what? Take a look at this picture real quick, and you tell me what you see. Now, if that's a wig, man, that's an amazing wig. And, wow! But if it's his hair, that's even more impressive. That's way more impressive. I don't know how he grew it out. If he got it, that's some major perm work. That is really good work. However, there is something way more nefarious behind that. And you might be thinking, well, Terrence Howard is trying to wake people up to the lies and the deceit of the math industry and science and NASA and all that stuff. Okay, good. That's what he's doing. He's a brainiac. You know, there is a thing called an educated fool, right? You do understand that? There are tons. And I used to have one. I'll tell you a little story. I used to have a principal when I was growing up, and Mr. Osborne was his name. And ironically, he too was on the non straight side of life. And that man had, I think it was 6 degrees. Two of them were doctorates. I mean, he was woo woo smart, but dumb as a box of rocks. I mean, that man was dumb. You know how people can have critical thinking skills, and then there are those who only have book thinking skills. He was the book thinking. If he didn't have the book to tell him what to do, he didn't know what to do. So he was great at consuming, but horrible, absolutely horrible at regurgitating knowledge. He hoarded it all and had no translative things at all to give you. Educated fool. Because if you don't know how to tell people what you know, you might as well shut up. Terrence Howard enters the room. Now, on that phase, if you want to keep listening to him, by all means, but just remember this: everything starts off with a little bit of an open can so you can get a whiff of it, and you're going to be the one having to decide whether or not you want to go continue opening the can. His math is his entry point. Was he like this picture when you saw him doing? No, it was not. Now we're going to make a correlation here, and we're going to call this what is necessarily the next phase of influence. Y'all remember a movie named Scarface? I remember Scarface. Y'all need me. Y'all need the bad guy. Remember that? Okay. Well, Scarface did for the streets what Terrence Howard is trying to do for the streets. What do I mean? You remember, Scarface was a kingpin, pretty much, right? Ran his gangs, mean guy, snorted all the time, high, was cool to do what he was doing. You know, you handle your business. If somebody crosses you, you pop them. The street copied that exponentially clear. They did it really good. And it all kind of stemmed from his influence. You watch Scarface and you think, man, we could do that. Copycat it. In walks Terrence Howard. Now, remember what Hollywood has been doing for a while now. Hollywood has been trying to do what, not just Hollywood, I should say, the world has been trying to do to both black and white, but predominantly trying to do to the black American is this. I'm going to make you appreciate and eventually want to encapsulate yourself with the gay culture. But how do you do that? You can't just drop it on them. You got to make sure you incrementally bring it in. Dresses, we talked about that. Making sure that the women are more masculine, they've done that. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying this is what you call a systemic thing. Hope you saw what that's not systemic. This is aimed at, and I'm going to say it, the weaker minds. Because they know in order to have critical thinking, you must be educating yourself in the right way. But if you're not educated in the right way, you don't have critical thinking. But they can give you the illusion of education, making you what? An educated fool. And in walks Terrence, with wig and all, doing the next phase of what Scarface did. You see, because we've been looking up to a lot of these random rap artists for a long time, okay? Diddy, T-Pain, Busta Rhymes, Lil Wayne, them people, right? And all of them seem to come out of the closet one way or another, whether verbally or in their actions. verbally or actions. But you couldn't connect with the people that weren't necessarily that far gone into the streets. You have to be able to bring more in. In he comes in his fancy suit and his well coiffed hair and his chains and his sweet little outfit with the 80s collar down to his shoulder blades and legs crossed and arms and talking and making his little sugar mama lips kind of thing going on there. And he's speaking really smart. What does it do? It drags in a whole different audience into something, and you are subliminally attracted to it. Because one, he sounds pretty smart, but man, that look. For the smart people that are not educated fools, you look and the best thing you can do is laugh. There ain't no grown man gonna walk out here looking like that and think he's cool. Come on now, man. Look, that was a white fro. I'm not racist, but y'all know what a white fro look like. Come on now. You know a black fro is nice. That what he's wearing a white fro. The Bee Gees had white fros. JJ on Good Times, a black fro. You see the difference? Okay, it's still a fro, but come on, man. Come on, bro. That's not you. But it's with reason. Here is the reason. It's throwing you off. You see, you're not going to associate that with anything to do with what you've been used to in a culture. So you're not going to look at it directly. It's going to slip in as part of the package he's presenting. You get what I mean? It is so subliminal that you don't even catch it because you're too busy looking at it like, man, it's an interesting hairdo. It's hilarious. And then before too long, you know what he's going to look at? Okay, Wayne Brady. You remember Wayne Brady? On whose line is it anyway? We thought for sure that man was straight. What did he just recently do? Came out of the closet. Why? You have to start dragging in multiple different people to your thought process. And the best way to do it is to the ones and with the ones that they like. And not just like, ones that they cannot associate with a vile kind of lifestyle. You can't say Terrence Howard is a gangster. No. I mean, hustle and flow, he sure acted like one, but that's what gave him at least some credentials to work with. That gave him some kind of an influence over people. They thought he was the cool cat. Now he walks in, nice little hairdo, looking all, I can't even say the man looks suave. I don't know what he looks like. I really don't know what he looks like. Oh, I do know what he looks like. He looks like a wish list Brady Bunch character. That's what he looks like. Aunt May from, what was it? What's that show with Andy Griffith? The Andy Griffith Show. Aunt May. That's what he looked like. Aunt B. Big old hair. And we don't think about it. We laugh. And we don't even watch the mannerisms. And pretty soon your son starts acting like him. But you think to yourself, that's nothing. Then he starts dressing like him. Nothing. Howard Smart. What do we do about this? Your eyes have to be open, people. Your eyes have to be open. Y'all might think this is just fun and games or it's just passive and you were stretching. This is where you're going to see. You're stretching her. Ain't nothing gay about that. You remember Cat Williams did the same thing? Well, nothing gay about that, though. Because he's smart. He's telling you all the truth. Remember, I look, if we're lying, please show us how. Why is it that that's the presentation of smart now? Shannon Sharp smart, right? Watch how he dresses. You still think we're lying? You still think we're stretching, huh? Look, if y'all can't see it, then don't see it. But you cannot say it doesn't exist because you don't see it. It's right there in front of you. What grown man does his hair like Cat Williams does it? Just a question. What? None. What grown man dresses like Shannon Sharp does? None. It is an influential thing that they're trying to get our young men to adapt to. Because they're no longer going to be men. They're going to be something other. The same way Scarface did the streets in like that and brought a whole different culture in, Terrence Howard's aiming at the same people. We talked some weeks ago about gay rappers, didn't we? And I mean on the street level, not on the Hollywood level. We showed you this image of this guy in a bra and G-strings and singing like he's some sort of a thug. You don't think it's had influence now, huh? Oh, it's had influence. And it's not just from Lil Nas. It's from every aspect of it. And it's not going to be just black people influenced by it either, because the number one purchaser of rap music is white people. The number one consumer of Hollywood is white kids, not the black ones. But they will use what is necessary to get their point, whether that be white, black, or anything else. What's the point? It's not race based, it's conscience based, it's morality based. And the more I can snuff your morality out and replace it with debauchery, I win. I win. But we've been asleep for so long, and we're not even worried about that. It's all humorous now. Remember, we keep telling you to hide things in humor? The devil is not a stupid individual. Let's just get this right. The devil is not dumb. He knows your buttons. He knows your quirks. He knows exactly what it takes to make you tick and to come over and talk to him. How does he think he got Eve? How do you think he got Eve? We're just asking you to be wary. We're asking you to watch things like this and not just take it and say, oh man, I listened to the message, but I'm ignoring the way he... You can't. You can no longer let the subliminal in and make a ruse saying that, oh, it's the message you got to listen to. All of it. It's a package deal. Because what you don't realize is what gets in is more permanent than what they say. I bet you many of us won't even remember what Terrence said in that interview, but you're going to remember the look. You're going to remember that hair. You're going to remember the outfit. And in some way, shape, or form, people are going to look at it like, I wonder how that would look on me. If I'm wrong, good. But if I'm right, is that a risk you want to take? With your kids, your grandkids? I sure hope not. Don't let the peddling of what they consider smart make you miss what they're trying to do to you morally. If this doesn't show you one thing, I hope it shows you this. They will always tell you what they're trying to do and try to tell you that they're not doing it. It is up to you to have the discernment to know when they're lying to your face.